but a new poll is necessary to flop such powers, and if Erdogan wins, Turkey will see an though more than muscular athlete at its steering wheel. Which are Erdogan's chances of winner? Cute nice. Erdogan is guideline in the polls, but in Turkey policy, anything is a certainly rate. Erdogan has several precise advantages. A. By the government crackdown on the print next and taken coup in 2016 has intended how Erdogan and his governing judiciary and growth side, AKP, prevail the ether and get the largest toner. Vocal's critics include been concluded, and the CEO has equipped profi government officials to the poll committee. Which are the key issues? The economics. Erdogan has length relied on his economical artistic achievements to win elections, but how win he be so lightweight the period about? The Turkey lira has hit all-time lows, bloating is on the growth and the strong increase of latter year is anticipated to sluggish sharply. The Kurds. The Turkey troop has been fight the separatist fighter Kurdistan Workers' Side, PKK, recognized a bomber organization, for almost 4 persons many decades. Erdogan's AKP has controlled out back to a world trial how compressed in 2015, and the Turkey war, meantime, has strengthened assaults on PKK strongholds in Iraq's Kandil Mountains front of the voice. At the identical period, Turkey's Kurd people, especially in the southwest, is a urgent electoral district for Erdogan. Their voice tends to break among his AKP and the profi Kurdish HDP. But the AKP's latter association in the nationalist MHP, that conducted a difficult link versus the Kurds, could estrange the key basis. If the HDP reached at low 10% of the voice, it will undergo the limit necessary to offer it a present in parliament, and how could indicate it deprives the AKP of its parliament most. Syria. The big quantity of Syriac refugees residing in Turkey has as well be an poll question. Several parties include told they expect to email Syrians behind to their nation, although they are cautious to say they will do it just following the war is above, and they underline the significance of world building down there. Turkey's participation in the Syriac warfare, as so as its extended struggle in the PKK, has encouraged acts of terror in the nation in latter year, else anxiety for voters. Who's in the fleeing for CEO? Turkey's history for more than rather than 10 years now has centered about Erdogan and his unfaltering popular. In comparison with early elections, the period down there are more than candidates to select of, largest of whom are promised to retain Turkey's parliament framework. Muharrem İnce guideline. The package versus Erdogan is Muharrem İnce, applicant for the major opposition, center-left Republic Human Beings' Side, CHP. He is promise a more than freelance judicial, more private freedoms and an end to undo by the government conducting. He is named for his ardent speeches and for creature hard on Erdogan's AKP, earning a charism how had been very much missing in the CHP for year. His campaigning election meetings include been colorful. He is frequently seen sing and dancing to conventional songs, and he one day rode a bike on phase as a ridicule versus Erdogan's undue conducting. Meral Akşener. Her campaigning has been on counteraction which she has outlined as AKP's poor management of the economics. If she win, Akşener would be the at first woman CEO, but not Turkey's at first woman chief of country. Tansu Çiller was selected Turkey's at first main secretary in 1993. Selahattin Demirtas. The HDP's Selahattin Demirtas is guideline his campaigning of jail, wherever he has been remanded with November 2016 next the unsuccessful coup, for which his side telephone call politically motivated terrorism concoction. He is charged of support the outlawed PKK. Members of Parliament of Demirtas' side include as well been concluded or remote of their posts due to estimated terrorism affiliations. Demirtas' campaigning has concentrated on increasing quality assurance and variety, and his just social exterior in the campaigning time was a 10-min before recorded speaking on Turkey country announcer TRT, that each applicant formally has the legislative order to utilize. In his speaking, a noticeably skinnier Demirtas named on Turkey voters to bring together versus Erdogan, and as well embattled the CEO for menacing to give behind equity penalty following the unsuccessful coup. Which will the new framework see love? Following the voice, the stance of main secretary will be diluted and all its powers passed to the CEO, a part how had historically been ceremonious. One key changing is how the CEO will include the force to question decrees, in some speech, build laws unilaterally. Erdogan has been capable to question decrees above the history 2 year just since his by the government located the nation in a country of disaster next the unsuccessful coup. But he may not be capable to hold the nation in how country for lot much longer, so the new framework would offer him a way to hold how force, should he be re-elected. Turkey's execution by the government will see a lot love the joint state. The CEO, for example, will include the force to designate office ministers immediately. In the history, just members of parliament were permitted to conduct office official position. The CEO will as well be capable to designate a quantity of officials to a high trial executive board, that is in accusation of choosing judges and prosecutorial control how flesh could indicate impact above the courts.